Welcome to the Deep Dive AI Brief. I'm your host, here to help you cut through the noise and get to what really matters in artificial intelligence this week.
And I'm here to help unpack it all. It has been a monumental week. I mean, we're seeing some major tectonic shifts happening.
Absolutely. The whole AI frontier seems to be stretching in two directions at once.
How so?
Well, on one hand, it's pushing upwards, towards these huge national ambitions. And on the other, it's pushing outwards into everyday tools for you.
That's a great way to put it.
So, to explore that, we have 5 key things for you today. First, we'll get into the U.S. government's massive Genesis mission.
Then, OpenAI. They're expanding the ChatGPT app marketplace, and there's a bigger strategy there.
Yep. Third, a surprise new AI lab called HARK from the CEO of Figure, Brett Adcock.
And after that, we'll do our usual roundup of all the other critical news you need to know.
And finally, we'll leave you with the top trending AI tools that you can actually use to boost your productivity right now.
Okay, let's dive in, starting with what is, I think, arguably the biggest story of the week.
The Genesis mission.
Exactly. The U.S. Department of Energy announced this. Well, it's a full-scale partnership with 24 of the biggest names in tech.
And when you say big names, we're talking about frontier labs like OpenAI, Google, Anthropic.
And the infrastructure giants, too. NVIDIA, AWS, they're all in.
The sheer scale of it is what feels like a real pivot point. It's uniting 17 national labs.
Which is the core of U.S. scientific research.
And something like 40,000 government researchers. The mission is all about using AI for breakthroughs in really critical areas.
We're talking nuclear energy, quantum computing, advanced manufacturing, things that define national power.
It's fascinating because the government is effectively becoming the ultimate client for these labs.
It's an aggregation of competitive talent for a national goal. I've seen it compared to the Manhattan Project already.
That's a heavy comparison.
It implies not just innovation, but, a sense of existential urgency.
And when you look at the full list of who signed on xAI, Microsoft, Palantir, AMD, Oracle, it really feels like a consolidated national effort.
A kind of Avengers assembly for technology.
Right. But that brings up a question for me. How do these fiercely competitive companies, who are all in talent wars with each other, how do they share their most sensitive models with government labs without risking their own intellectual property?
That is the critical tension. For the companies, the value is getting early access to just massive government supercomputers.
Like the Venado supercomputer at Los Alamos.
Exactly, which OpenAI is already using. It lets them run models on a scale they might not have access to otherwise.
And I suppose becoming the government's trusted AI partner is a huge strategic win long term.
A huge win. And look at what Google DeepMind is contributing specifically. They're giving lab scientists a whole toolkit.
Right, the AI co-scientist agent, the AlphaVolve coding system.
And the Alpha Genome DNA model. And to put that into context for you,
Alpha?
AlphaVolve is designed to use AI to improve and test code for, say, complex scientific simulations.
So it accelerates the research itself.
Precisely. And Alpha Genome is likely a specialized version of their biological models, think AlphaFold, but tailored for things like nuclear materials or new manufacturing compounds.
And underneath it all, you have AWS pledging up to $50 billion in government AI infrastructure.
Which just underscores that this isn't a theoretical plan. It's a massive, immediate investment to make the government's research engine AI ready right now.
So the whole thing is a clear signal about the geopolitical stakes.
Absolutely. The U.S. is betting that embedding commercial AI directly into its national labs is the fastest way to maintain its technological edge.
Okay, so let's shift from that massive national scale down to the individual user. Let's look at OpenAI.
Who are also making a big move,
Here.
expanding their ChatGPT ecosystem.
They've unveiled a new integrated app directory right inside ChatGPT, and this is the key. They've opened it up to all third-party developers.
This really signals a major strategic pivot for them. They're trying to position ChatGPT not just as an assistant,
But as an everything interface.
exactly, a potential operating system for the consumer. The new directory is a browsable hub, organized into categories like featured, lifestyle, productivity.
It seems like they're trying to centralize the user experience in a big way. We're already seeing brands like Photoshop, Canva, DoorDash, Spotify integrated.
Which is powerful, the idea of using them right inside a conversation. But it does raise a question.
Does it solve the problems the old GPT store had?
Yes. The adoption for that was Not great. So is this just rearranging the same apps on a new shelf?
Well, the previous store felt very separate. This integration is much deeper. It's trying to make ChatGPT the default layer for everything, but the money problem is still there.
Monetization.
Yeah. Right now, the options are limited to just linking out to an external website.
And that breaks the whole seamless experience.
Yeah.
If you have to leave the chat to subscribe or buy something, it kind of defeats the purpose of being an everything OS.
Right. OpenAI says they're exploring digital goods and other paths, but for now, they're just betting that the sheer utility of it will be enough.
It's a big bet. Okay, so from the established giants, let's jump to a major new player. Brett Adcock, the CEO of Figure AI, is launching a brand new AI lab.
It's called Hark. And what's really notable here is the funding.
It's all his own money.
$100 million in personal funding, according to reports. And he's still going to run Figure AI.
Which is focused on humanoid robotics and is valued at something like $39 billion.
So the question is, why start a completely separate lab? Why not just do this research inside Figure?
And Hark's focus is on human-centric AI. They define that as being capable of proactive reasoning and continuous self-improvement.
So let's break that down. Proactive reasoning. Most frontier models today are reactive. You give them a prompt, they give a response.
Sure.
Proactive suggests an AI that can look at a situation, set its own goals, and then act without you giving it step-by-step instructions.
That sounds a lot like AGI research.
It is. It's fundamental, long-shot AGI research that Figure's investors might not want to fund, given they're focused on shipping actual robots relatively soon. So he's ring-fencing his own money to chase a much bigger, more fundamental goal.
That seems to be the play. And they're moving fast. Hark's first GPU cluster reportedly came online this week. It shows that some people believe the race for a totally new kind of foundational model is far from over.
Okay, that gives us the big strategic picture. Now let's shift gears and slow the pace down a bit for a roundup of everything else that moved the needle in AI this week.
Starting with video, Luma just unveiled a new model called Ray 3 Modify. Its key feature is the ability to reshape existing footage. You can swap out the environment or the costumes,
While keeping the actor's original performance perfectly intact. Their movements, their timing, their emotional delivery, all of it stays.
Yes. And you can even transform a real actor into a different character just by feeding the model a reference image. It could totally change production workflows.
Next up, on the developer security side, OpenAI rolled out GPT 5.2 Codex. The big emphasis here is on stronger cybersecurity capabilities.
Which means the model is better at spotting and fixing common vulnerabilities in the code it writes. Things like SQL injection attacks, making it much safer to use in production.
And for anyone who deals with paperwork, Mistral launched OCR 3. It's their new document reading model, and it's claiming the top spot on all the OCR benchmarks.
It can handle everything from messy handwritten notes to scanned forms and detailed tables, and it turns them all into clean digital text.
In the funding world, the coding platform Lovable announced a huge Series B round.
$330 million. It values the company at $6.6 billion, which shows just how much confidence investors have in AI-powered developer tools right now.
We also saw a big move out of Hollywood. Over 500 artists formed the Creators Coalition on AI.
This is an advocacy group pushing for industry standards around consent for using their likeness, fair compensation for training data, and much stronger protections against deepfakes.
And finally, a pretty bold timeline from Elon Musk's xAI. He reportedly told employees that xAI might reach AGI as early as 2026.
That is an extremely aggressive timeline. He did add a big condition, though, that xAI has to survive the next 2 to 3 years of intense competition for talent and especially for infrastructure.
That timeline feels less like a technical guarantee and more like a strategic move to attract the most ambitious AGI researchers in the world. It definitely keeps the pressure on everyone else.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap up with a quick look at the top trending AI tools that can actually help you be more productive right now.
First up, the one we just mentioned, Mistral OCR 3. If your work involves handling lots of different documents, this is the top performing model right now for pulling out clean data.
Next, GPT 5.2 Codex.
Yeah.
If you're a developer working on large-scale projects, you should be looking at this, especially for its enhanced security features.
For video professionals, Ray 3 Modify is the one to watch. You can use it to edit and reimagine footage with incredible control, making stylistic changes almost instant.
And if you're looking for a job, check out Resi. It uses AI to analyze a job description and then automatically tailor your resume to match it, hitting all the keywords in seconds.
Then there's Modor. This is for designers or e-commerce brands. It helps you create professional product mock-ups with AI, which really speeds up creating visual assets.
From Google Labs, we have Mixboard. It's an AI-powered concept board designed for creative work, helping you explore and refine ideas visually.
And lastly, VRV. This one automates the process of making viral AI shorts, which is a huge time saver for content creators who need to publish at high volume.
What a deep dive today. On one side, we've seen this incredible broadening of the AI application ecosystem.
Right, driven by this consumer demand for tools that handle everyday tasks. OpenAI's push to make ChatGPT a central hub is the perfect example of that.
And at the same time, the foundational competition is getting more intense, and the national strategic urgency is rising.
Highlighted by new private labs like HARC and, of course, the sheer scale of the Genesis mission, which is pulling commercial talent directly into government research.
The whole future of AI really seems to hinge on this balance, how these top labs navigate between the commercial race and these critical collaborative national projects.
Indeed. And for you, the listener, maybe the final thought is this. If the government becomes the biggest and most high-stakes user of these AI models through Genesis, does that relationship actually accelerate progress faster than pure market competition ever could? Or does it risk centralizing control over this technology too much?
We hope this information helps you feel informed and ready for the week ahead. If you found this valuable, please make sure you follow and share the deep dive with someone else who wants to stay ahead of the curve.
See you in the next deep dive.